Welcome. I'm Dee, and this is a single mom unguided life where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between. And I bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable. Okay, so today is our mid-month check-in for our November monthly budget. I often do this so I know where my money has gone to so far and if I need to make any adjustments going forward. So it has been a long day, a long week, and so on and so forth. So because of that, I have indulged in some wine, and I will insert a picture so you can see exactly what I'm drinking and what I'm drinking out of. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little sip and put that to the side. So what we got going on for November? I start with my financial goals. I know that at the end of my November budget, I want to have at least $715 in my checking. I want to pay at least $275 towards my medical consolidation loan, as well as I want to narrow down my planners for 2021. I want a content planner, one that shows me the plans that I have for my channel, such as the days I film, the days I edit, and the days I release. And then I also need a planner for my budget because I do monthly budgets and I do paycheck to paycheck breakdowns. So I expected to bring in $4,942.29 of income. My rollover from October was $285.75. So I'm expecting to have at least $5,228.04 to budget for November. This consists of a magic month, which means that I get paid 3 times from my employer within this budget, as well as I am receiving a monthly stipend. So far, I have paid all of the bills from my first check, and that is in blue. So all of these have cleared my account. Additionally, I have received my stipend, so I have sent the only expense that I have taken out of that at this time is just going to tithes and offerings. All right, so let's go ahead, and this is the first check I received. It was $1670.27. Total I had to work with was $1,956.02. This is how I broke everything down for this paycheck. It left me with $404.50 of unbudgeted. Then when I received my stipend, which was on the 1st, it was $142.29. I was able to carry over that $404.50. So total breakdown was $546.79. The only thing that I actually took out of this particular paycheck, as stated, was tithes and offering. That left me with $532.50, and that's what's I'm expected to be in the unbudgeted. So let's go to the unbudgeted transaction log. My unbudgeted goes from October 23rd to December 3rd. As you can see, I have not been spending other than what I've planned for. And then I did end up having to go to Harris Teeter to pick up some items for Halloween. Additionally, my son sent over his portion of his phone bill. If you're new to my channel, my son, he wanted a updated phone. Nothing was wrong with his phone. So our agreement was he pays for this phone. So he sends me the $26.67 for the phone. I cover the bill itself. So right now what's remaining in my unbudgeted is $527.19, which is good. We're almost to that $715. Now let's talk about my sinking funds check-in. So right now we've only completed week 1 and week 2. These was the starting balances. So for gas, it was $30.21. I did add the $30 from my paycheck and $8.26 that was rollover from Ibotta. So that was $38.26. I did have to fill up gas twice within a week, and that was $46.82, and that was because we went on a day trip, and then I was doing my normal side gigs. So that's why the gas was so much. For car maintenance, it started with $309.80. I've added $25 the first week, and I haven't spent anything the first week. For property, I haven't added anything to that category, nor Papa, vacation, medical, or taxes. As you can see, we have taxes here. This is for my side gig. I decided to put it on the sheet because I do need to keep up with it. Even though it's not coming out my paycheck, I do need to keep up with how much I'm putting in taxes. Okay, now let's go to week 2. Week 2, I added for gas $62.26, and that is from the total amount from my side gig. And in the upcoming video, you'll see why I'll be sending money to this particular sinking fund. I only spent $21.82 for gas. For car maintenance, the only thing that was added was the interest of 7 cents. And I did spend $76.32. That was an oil change and a car wash that I needed for the month. I haven't spent out of property. For Papa's Fund, I received a 1 cent interest. For taxes, I received a 10 cent interest, and as well as I added $244.50. So this is how week 1 and week 2 look as far as my sinking fund goes, and it doesn't look like we need to make any adjustments or have any issues. I know that eventually I will be using the car maintenance, or I'll be trying to figure out, because I do need some work done on my vehicle. So I will be trying to factor that in more, so probably do that in December, because November is already here and I'm already budgeting for it, and I just don't like hiccups. It's not dire need, it's something that can wait. So I'm totally fine with that. So this is my sinking fund. So this is a spending tracker for my envelope system. Again, it's the same dates of October 23rd through December 3rd. I started off with $24.11, and this is the breakdown of each category and what was included in that particular category. As you can see, I actually have not been spending as much as I usually spend the first 2 weeks, but I have spent quite a bit just doing my normal grocery shopping, and that's about it. It's nothing abnormal that other than I did do the $20 deposit from Ibotta for my groceries, because I was running a little bit tight. So I went ahead and retrieved the $20. It was actually $28.26. I left $8.26 in gas, and $20 was to groceries. So everything looks normal here. So this is the breakdown where I started with fund money, $27.27. I spent $23.10, so that left me with $4.17. Nothing in gifts. Groceries, I started with $201.12. I spent $197.37, and the remaining was $3.75. For household, it was $45.12. What I spent was $8.71. What's remaining is $36.41. For personal, it's $40.60 is what I budgeted. What I spent was $13.90. $26.70 was remaining the first week. Restaurants started with $20, spent $15.25. What was remaining was $4.75. So I took these balances and I carried them over to week 2, as you can see. And then in week 2, I spent $3.66 in fund money. So I left $1.11. Nothing was in gifts. For groceries, I spent $3.05, so that left 70 cents. For household, I spent $16.59, so that left $19.82. For personal, I spent $26.05, and what's remaining is 65 cents. For restaurants, I spent $4.59 and 16 cents. So, okay, so right here I'm just explaining to you exactly what's going on with these amounts, that the reason why the amounts that's left in the account is actually not in the account. Well, usually when I get bored with what I've been making, I go to Pinterest. I try to find some type of recipe pen that I can incorporate in my weekly meals. This particular pen was a 3 cheese pen and pasta. It was a meatless Monday situation. I was like, let's give it a go. I personally always follow recipes that I find, even if I see there should be some adjustments, because I want to give my honest opinion to the author to let them know, hey, either you made a mistake and you input this information incorrect, or it just didn't work out because of A, B, C, D, F, G. Well, what I found is that it was a cheese sauce. So you have to make a cheese sauce. Usually a base of a cheese sauce is a rule. I base my ratio of dry to liquid based on how much liquid I'll be putting in. Okay, because I wanted it to thicken up really good. I like cheesy sauce. Well, this was 2 cups of liquid, but I only had 2 teaspoons of flour. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. And as I was making it, I was like, it was not thickening. I was like, maybe it's gonna be magic in the oven. No, it definitely was no magic in the oven. It came out, it just looked at wet. Which is dumb, but that's what it looks like to me. And then additionally, when I tasted it, it tasted like milk. So I didn't want to subject myself or my son to it. So that became an unofficial eat out day. He chose Wendy's. Wendy's is less than 7 minutes from my house. I did a mobile order. And then I had my son go pick it up. And by the time my son got back to me, which it was not even that long, literally he left and came back. That's how I felt. My food was cold and my chicken was dry. I reached out to customer service at Wendy's because I'm thinking that they were the ones who deal with the refunds. They forwarded my information to the general manager. I was expecting a call from a general manager. Tuesday came and went, nothing. I reached out to them on Wednesday and I didn't hear anything from them. And then so I was like, you know what? I may just stop by at the store just to see how I'm going to get my money. Well, I was on the phone with my mom. I said, Mom, I'm going to hang out with you because I'm going to run down to Wendy's, so on and so forth. And while I was doing that, guess what? I get a call from the general manager, and general manager asked me what was going on. I gave her a rundown. She said she was going to forward my information to this team so I can get the refund. She said that she was going to give me a call back later that night to let me know everything was fine. I didn't hear from her Wednesday. I didn't hear from her on Thursday. I, again, was going to go back to the store. I was out with my side gigs, sidetrack, and I needed to get home to cook. So I said, I'll just call to the store. I spoke to a rep, which was a manager, and the manager was not able to give me the general manager number, but he did go ahead and call her. She knew exactly what the deal. She told him the deal. And I guess she put it in his hands to help her send this information to this mysterious team. I'm like, okay, cool, fine, no biggie. Well, I am still waiting for this. So right now I'm still waiting for this refund. And that's why I decided that I'm not going to make any adjustments to my categories at this time while waiting for the refund to appear. So this is what should be in each category. So for right now, I'm going to leave what's supposed to be in each category. I don't know when I'm going to receive that refund. When I do my check-in for week 3, I'll just incorporate what was here and what I put in there to make sure this flows correctly. But yeah, so that was my little story. And this is my mid-month check-in. And I feel like I'm well on way to reaching 2 of my 3 goals. The third goal, which is the planners, I would say I'm almost there. I haven't purchased anything. I've been watching a couple tutorials, a couple unboxings, things like that to see which planners will work best for me and my household. So definitely stay tuned to see that video here. If you're new to my channel and you want to be part of the village, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Everybody go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you can, just share this with your family, friends, and your coworkers. Peace out.